Hey, Janne, it's Rowan from Silver Tiger Media. Queen Cavoid.
I'm good, thank you. That was some pretty good finish right there.
Thank you very much indeed. I practiced it a little bit. It's great to speak with you. Thank you very much for your time.
Sure, no worries.
Firstly, congratulations on our Worship Chaos. Brutal, brutal stuff. How long was this in development?
Yeah. Excuse me? Sorry.
How long was this in development?
We spent a good 4 or 5 months writing the music before and entering the studio. So it took some time. I think it was a bit longer process than usually writing an album is for us.
Indeed, you do produce them very quickly and impressively, essentially a follow-up to Halo of Blood. But is there a central theme to this album?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we never do theme albums as such, and because all the lyrics are about Alex's problems.
Sure.
I personally don't know much about the themes, but no, I would not call it a theme album though.
Indeed, Janne, would you mind telling us about that fantastic cover art?
Yeah. We approached the guy we used last time. How unfortunately he was too busy, but he referred us to another guy in Finland, and I'm really glad he did because it turned out great, and everybody seems to love it. And I've seen great, like here in Germany, the record company has made big posters and big like canvas art from the cover art, and it looks amazing. So.
Oh, wonderful! So it should be too, and it suits the music so beautifully well. Now,
yeah.
You personally started playing at the age of 5, is that correct?
Yeah.
It's a stupid question, but do you remember what inspired you to do so?
Well, my dad played. He played the piano and keyboards, but he also played the trumpet. And my parents inspired me, and they, at that age, pretty much forced me to piano lessons. But then, I picked it up, and I noticed that it's fun and it's something that interests me. So I kept going at it.
Indeed, and thankfully you did. A Helsinki Pop and Jazz Conservatory graduate. How does a graduate gravitate to heavy metal, particularly death metal?
Well, it might sound a bit off, but for me, no matter the style of music you're playing, it's very important to have the proper education in music theory. It just makes all the communication about music so much easier, that you can talk to your fellow musicians in correct musical terms. I couldn't play in a band with people who don't know notes or the proper names of musical stuff. Funny thing that people don't know, that Alexi also studied at the very same conservatory, and we were there.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were there during the same years, but we just didn't know each other yet. So that's why that's one of the things why communicating about music has been so good and easy for me with Alexi, because we both have the proper training in music theory.
Absolutely, and that explains why you do have that almost immediate chemistry between the two of you that brings about such a successful blend.
Yep.
Now, you joined the band in 1997, but were you a fan of the group already?
I did not know. It was I was in a school with the drummer, Jaska, and I heard he talked about the band, and he said they're having problems with their current keyboard player, and he asked me if I was interested. And, like I said, even though it sounds weird that I was studying at the Pop Jazz Conservatory at the same time, I mean, for me, it was like, sure, I'll give it a try. I'm interested in all kinds of music, and I have to admit that I hadn't listened to any black metal by that time. I was a fan of Metallica and stuff like that, but nothing like too brutal,
Sure.
But when Jaska asked me that if I was interested, I was sure, I will give it a go. I would love to give it a go, because I was just interested in all music in general, and I was playing in bands. I played the drums at the time too, so I was playing in like punk and funk bands as a drummer, and I was just, as a kid, you just want to try it all,
Oh,
so,
fantastic. Particularly when music is your life.
Right. So, you know, when Jaska asked me to join in for the first album, and first it was just if I could join in and help them with the studio sessions of the first album, because they had already written the music, everything was ready, but then they were just missing a keyboard player before they were entering the studio. So, you know, we went through the songs and I practiced them and we recorded the first album, and then as things started moving on, I became a permanent member.
Fantastic. And was that a big learning curve for you, going from what you had been playing to the death metal type of style?
No, I mean, yeah, but then at the time I started listening to more bands of that sort, checking out, you know, a little bit about the sound, the keyboard sounds, and stuff like that. But the playing itself, like, really was not a problem at all, because, you know, like I said, I had the proper training. When you're properly trained with that, you can you know, you just jump in and you feel right at home because you know kind of what you're doing already.
It's almost like another language that most of us don't understand, but obviously it helps you enormously.
Yeah, no, it really does. Like I said, I couldn't play in a band without people around me who know exactly what we're talking about.
Indeed, and of course you personally orchestrated the start of Wirman and have produced 5 albums. How are they going?
Well, yeah, obviously it's just a fun side project for me that I do when I have downtime from COB. Sure. And you know, it's been all about, you know, getting to play with my brother more and more, because, you know, my brother is great. And it's like a therapy project for me, because I can do like goofy power metal and whatever prog metal stuff that's like, you know, just weird as fuck, but it's just fun to do it with my friends. So and then, you know, and we have these guests, you know, Alexis comes and sings with us every now and then, and, you know, it's just a lot of fun.
Wonderful. And as you say, your younger brother has joined for this album. How's he going from a big brother perspective?
Good. I mean, it's good. It's a bit weird. It's, you know, I have to admit it's odd, but you know, it's fun.
Oh, fantastic. And look, I realise this is probably an obvious question, and I'd almost bite my tongue asking it, but I need to ask you for myself, how on earth did you develop that signature forward-tilted keyboard style?
I've fully admitted that I've fully copied it from Jens Johansson.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it was up at the time of our first album, and we went to this club in Finland, Tavastia, to see Stradivarius perform, and I'm like, wow, why is that fucking keyboard like that? You know, it's weird. And then when I tried it, I immediately noticed that it's so much easier to play fast and technical stuff, because when I lay my hand down, my wrist is straight. You know, when a keyboard is in a normal position, you have to twist your wrist, and, you know, it just gives it a little bit of an extra tension and whatever. But when the keyboard is tilted like that, when you stand above it, you put your hand straight down. You don't have to, you know, flex any other muscles than your fingers to do the playing. You know, I mean, this might sound weird, but for me, it's just a way more comfortable and, you know, more ergonomical position to play.
Absolutely, and I hadn't thought of it before, but really a death metal band is hardly the place where you'd be sitting down at the keyboard.
No, not so much.
Now, I'm presuming the name, the Children of Bodom, is a derivative of the Lake Bodom murder story. Would that be right?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Indeed. And what is the storyline to the track My Bodom? Is there a storyline? I'm just intrigued by the words in brackets, I'm the only one. I love the track, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't discussed the lyrics much with Alexi. This is just a guess. I have no idea, but I think okay. I am the only one. Kind of refers to the one person who survived the murder thingy, and because you know there was 4 kids camping and 3 died, and this one guy kind of survived. Then later on, this one guy was sued for the murders of the 3 people, and it's just a weird thing. And the Finnish, like, justice system, I don't know. I think he pretty much confessed, but still they couldn't convict him. So I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing in the whole whole crime history of Finland.
That's incredible. I knew he'd been charged and was exonerated from criminal charges. I didn't realise he'd been sued. My God.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Oh, indeed. Now, look, I have to ask you, you've been extremely successful, but is Finland a difficult place for metal bands to emerge, particularly death metal?
No, I don't think. I mean, at the time when we started, Finland was a great place for a young band to start because, there was a strong scene. And we got so lucky with Spinefarm, the same record company, right at the same time, around the same time. Excuse me. When we started, Nightwish started and Sonata Arctica started, and, without Spinefarm, and, it would have been much more difficult for us. I remember we were shopping around and sending demo tapes and stuff, but, I'm so glad that Spinefarm did pick us up, because without them, it probably would have been way more difficult.
Absolutely, I'm 100% with you there. It's why we do so much for Spinefarm as much as we can, because they do pick up acts like yourselves and put you onto the worldwide stage where you're appreciated so much more. Yeah,
that's right.
The album goes on sale on October 2nd, and I can personally attest to the fact that it is absolutely full-on and brutal. It's wonderful stuff. Have you had an opportunity to play any tracks live as yet?
No, we've learned from experience in the past that we do not play tracks live before the album is released.
Right.
It sometimes doesn't make any sense because the crowd is then just standing there like, what the fuck just happened? some of the music is, still kind of complex, and, if you just haven't heard a track at all from an album and then you hear the band play it live, it's just too much. People are like, what the fuck? So yeah, we don't do that anymore nowadays.
I can identify with that, particularly when it is such powerful stuff. It'll be tremendous to hear it live. I can't wait. With your sensational list of accomplishments today, do you have a favourite show or time in your personal career that stands out as being really paramount?
Well, I got to tell you that, when we started as kids, obviously being a huge fan of Slayer because, the extreme, all the bands who call them extreme heavy metal nowadays have to have been somehow, fans of Slayer or whatever. But yeah, and then later on, we got to tour with them, and there's such a huge production, and everything is so professionally taken care of. And I think just touring with Slayer, those couple of tours we got to do was just amazing time in my life.
Oh, wonderful. Beautifully put, too. And now you're touring with the album extensively right from the start of October through to mid-December, but no Australian gig. Does that mean maybe a Soundwave appearance next year?
Yeah, this is something funny, because I just received an urgent email from the management that I'm not supposed to mention anything, but dude, yes. Just don't tell anyone, but Australia is in the plans. So no worries.
Okay,
no worries.
I won't tell anybody. It's just between you, me, and the rest of the world.
Right, there you go.
Tremendous.
Yeah, no, do not worry about the dates that have been announced yet. There's some conflict of whatever interest, so we can't say anything about Australia, but we are definitely coming to Australia, so no worries.
That's wonderful news, Janne. Thank you very much. It'll be great to see you out here. We can't wait to welcome you. And, of course, we won't mention dates or anything like that.
No.
Oh, tremendous. Well, look, congratulations again on the album. It's absolutely sensational. And, look, keep up the wonderful work. We really enjoy what you do.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, and I want to thank everybody down there, still supporting us, buying the albums and coming out to the shows. Really, really awesome stuff that we get to come down there every now and then.
That's really nice of you to mention that, Janne. Thank you very much indeed. Pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, man. Have a good day.
Travel safe. Take care, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.